Welcome back to Spencer FYI, and we're going to learn about an organization here in town, LSI, or it used to be Lutheran Services of Iowa. Is that still kind of what it's?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about LSI and what kind of services that they offer.
Yeah, so LSI Lutheran Services in Iowa has been around for 150 years. This year, actually, we just had our celebration of that, and we are across Iowa. So specifically here in Clay County, I'm going to talk about therapy services. So we offer individual counseling. We offer family counseling, couples counseling. We have a number of providers that are in office here. We right now are located right downtown on 4th Street. And we provide, there's a lot of different specialty areas. So we have some providers who are specializing in trauma and EMDR. And we have some, like myself, who specializes in play therapy, which is a very specific skill set to work with children with wide ranges of difficulties and diagnosis and experiences. We have telehealth services, and so we can offer that wide range of providers across the state that could be able to, get what you need out of services.
Do you need to have a referral? Do you need to be Lutheran? What are kind of the rules for coming in?
Yeah, great question. You don't need a referral. So you don't need a referral from a medical provider. You can call us up. You can fill out an intake form on our website, which will send you right to our central intake. And they are wonderful there. They will call you. They'll walk you through the entire process of how to get set up and kind of navigate who would fit best for you. So they'll ask you a series of questions. Are you interested in telehealth? What do you have a specific preferences? And they will direct you to the right provider. You can also call that number as well and get direct access.
Is there anything specific, like specific traumas or specific therapies that you specialize in?
Yeah, so we, a lot of the mental health providers on our specialized in trauma do have some kind of trauma-informed care, which just is a different way of looking at mental health conditions that are happening, and that there is some external factors that might happen. So when we think about trauma, we think about, it could be one event that happens. It could be a car accident. It could be, the flood. Or it could be just kind of a series of things that have happened throughout somebody's lifetime. But when we think about trauma, it's really, something that's happened that kind of overwhelms the body and the brain's ability to cope. We also have people who specialize in attachment-related disorders. So maybe somebody who has is experiencing, it's not the right word, but there may be some adoption, or there was a significant trauma when they were younger. We have specific individuals who are trained in attachment-based work. Again, like myself, I am trained in play therapy, so working specifically with kids, couples therapy, and a wide range of diagnosis from anxiety to, and maybe life transitions to, more long-standing. So maybe, schizophrenia or bipolar. So we have that wide range of providers who have the skills and trainings to be able to serve the needs of most people.
Let's talk a little bit about play therapy.
Yeah.
So what does that entail? I mean, obviously play, right?
Yeah. So play therapy, when we think about kids and we think about the struggles that kids go through, whether it is like life transitions or it is a significant trauma that happens, kids don't talk like adults do, right? They don't have that conversation, maybe those language skills to be able to communicate. So play is their language. Play is their language, and toys and things of that nature are their words. And so we work in that context. So kids come in, we have the playroom. So it doesn't look like a traditional therapy office where, we have just the chairs and the couches. They have a wide range of things to use and utilize. And as a trained provider, we, work with the child to be able to either process through their trauma that happened, or learn the language and the skills to be able to talk about and communicate and advocate for themselves. So it is a really powerful experience for children.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So is there a set number of therapies that they do, or is it kind of based on how they are doing, or?
Yeah, great question. For anybody, especially for children, we do kind of have that relationship with the caregivers of how are we doing, what are our symptoms like, and that really judges the pace of it. Typically therapy is supposed to be 6 months or less. That's our goal. However, that doesn't always work, and there is sometimes where it does go a lot longer, especially if there's some ongoing concerns. So we definitely check for progress. We have treatment plans, and that's kind of a across the board, very collaborative between all the agencies within LSI, or the sites at LSI.
Insurance, is it covered by insurance?
Yes, it is covered by insurance. So we are covered by the majority of the insurances around, and we do offer, sometimes there's other ways if people are unable to pay.
All right, sounds good. So basically, if you not sure what's going on, maybe some anxiety or whatever, to give you a call and you can help them decide if therapy is the right.
Yeah. I think sometimes people have this misconception that it has to be bad enough to go to therapy. Like everything has to be in shambles and it has to be really bad. That's not always the case. So if you are just feeling, maybe something's off, like I'm feeling like just not myself lately, it's best to come in and figure it out. Like, come in for a little checkup, like you would your doctor if you weren't feeling well. Come in and say, I'm just wanting to see if this is normal, especially if you had experienced anything traumatic that's happened, because it kind of shows up in our bodies in different ways, and just checking, is this something that maybe I need to work through, and catching it early is really important.
How does trauma maybe show? You mentioned that there may be a physical, or how does it show up?
Great question. So trauma can manifest and show in many different ways, and it's going to be very different from a lot of people. So it can show up as things like being forgetful, or not being able to find that word that you're thinking of. It also can show up as being very aware of your surroundings. So maybe you're jumping a little bit at certain noises, and your body is just feeling on alert. It might be more of an anxiety or an energy feeling where you're just like, I just can't sit still anymore. You don't know why. And it also can come with thoughts. So maybe you're thinking a lot about maybe the experience that happened, or worrying about, okay, maybe is this going to happen? And you just can't get rid of those thoughts. So it can come in like a physical, symptom form, or even thoughts and maybe not wanting to do things anymore. And so the brain kind of is in a protective mode, and so that shows up very different for some people. And one of the things that sometimes people maybe have struggles with is that maybe they didn't actually go through that event that happened. So if there was, something significant that happened, a car accident, the flood, maybe they weren't actually impacted by it, but they're having these symptoms. That's also trauma. So there is kind of a collective trauma that comes from just hearing about things, experiencing it, being around it, and having your people around you, the people you care about, experience it. That can also have trauma impact for you. And so even if you didn't have a direct impact in something that happened, to being aware that these things could really be trauma related, even though maybe you didn't technically have the accident or be involved in the flood.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure those are the same things you can watch for in your children or neighborhood kids or.
Yeah. And so specifics, for kids and such, you'll notice cues that they're saying. So maybe the windows are open and, a certain smell comes into the house and they're like, can we please close the windows? Because I don't like that smell. Or they're hearing something and they just are having a strong reaction. I really don't like that sound. Because our bodies pick up the memory of things. And so when we have smells, when we have noises, when we have anniversaries of things, it is going to trigger those reactions a lot more. And so they'll say things up like that. And those are just cues for you for kids, for other people you see, as just, those are things to note and think about.
Awesome. So give your call, check out your website. That's probably your best first steps.
Yes. So best first steps would be, check out the website, give a call, ask for an intern if you have somebody specific you want. You can go through on our website the different providers that are at our site. All of our providers also have a Psychology Today profile, so you can go in there and digs a little bit deeper. Sometimes there's pictures of what the office is actually going to look like, so it doesn't seem so scary to go into this place where maybe you've never been before.
Awesome. Anything else that you want to add?
I would just say that especially at LSI, we do offer a wide range, like I said, of service providers. So we do have some service or mental health professionals who do like art therapy and do a lot of things with music and more creative. So if maybe talking isn't your strong suit and you don't know how to talk about what's going on, there's other avenues to be able to work through and process through things that might be going on for you.
All right, awesome. So if you're out there and like you said, just you need that mental health checkup, this is a good place maybe to start.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking time to come in and talk to us a little bit. And you can check out that website, give them a call and see if they can give you help. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right after this.